commenters in a recent video were trying to have some fun with me, implying that maybe I am copying a big-time streamer because my voice is a little bit deep. I had my own snarky response to that. But no, let's talk about mic positions and how positioning the mic, how you talk, will have a huge effect just outside of any effects, or what people like to call voice changers. Now, that's a term I see all over the place, especially the past couple of weeks. Voice changers, the voice changer. Interesting. Never heard of a voice changer. I have heard of EQs, and we'll talk about that. So I think the first thing to talk about that's most important is mic position. Now, you see, I usually have my mic kind of like this, right? It's offset a little bit, pointing towards my mouth. I try not to talk directly into the mic because your breath can create plosives, distortions, even though I have the foam windscreen on. So it's common practice to kind of offset the mic from your mouth a little bit. Now, some people, especially if you talk loud, if you're like Ryan Cannell, who uses actually, I think, the same mic I use, his mic will be positioned a little bit further off, which is good, right? I think it works for him because he gets really like worked up and animated. He's going on about like Star Wars sucks and I hate this movie and rah, rah, rah. You know, he does the Ryan Cannell thing. So he keeps room for his hands, his body language. Also, he does talk, I think, naturally very loud. So it makes sense to keep that mic away. Now, he doesn't have a deep booming voice like a certain streamer we all know of. He's not trying to. You know, Ryan does his thing, and that works for him. But I do detect a little bit of reverb or reflection, right? My room is kind of treated, but despite the treatment, I have a couple big monitors, a laptop. I'm still getting some reflection coming off. Now, you may not hear too much of the noise gating, but believe me, the reflection, it exists. And I'll talk about the noise gate in a second. Also, maybe you hear, maybe not, the TV downstairs. Family walking around. I have other noises in the house. And so the farther the mic is from my mouth, the more of those noises it can pick up. Unless I really project my voice a lot and try to talk over all of that, it's going to make its way in. So a lot of times when you see me, I'm sitting here and I just heard my dog, right? When you see me like this, basically the closer the mic is to my mouth, the more I'm trying to drown out my family. And that's one of the reasons I have the mic like this. Now, you probably heard quite a difference in bass, the overall tone of my voice. Now, what if I would take my microphone and I'm going to get it right up like this on. I'll get it here. You probably see where I'm going with this one. So now I am just talking right over the diaphragm. I'm keeping my mouth just over the top of the mic. It should help reduce plosives. But I've pretty much got my chin almost touching the foam. And right about here, you're probably hearing a lot of bass, much deeper. Mic position matters. Even if you don't really have a deep voice, you definitely can have a voice that's more commanding if you position the mic just right. I can't personally work like this, so that's why I prefer to do what I do, which is push it back. Now, however, I'll keep it here for a moment. How you talk matters. A lot of people will just talk from their mouth like this. The sounds are coming off my tongue. But if you start bringing the sounds from the back of your throat, it gets a little bit deeper. Now I'm actually trying to pull the sound from my gut, from my chest. I know a little bit about this from when I took some voice acting classes, just trying to bring that energy up from your abdomen, from your lower chest, just bring it right up, just like this. I probably almost sound like those Sardaukar from Dune.
Bin bara hunderi innara ulen boo.
Right. Definitely those used voice changers, aka EQs, reverberation, most definitely. But I know someone out there is like, no, you're using a voice changer. Okay. Let's hop over to my desktop. So many people are using some sort of interface for their microphone. I'm using a Rodecaster Duo. The first channel, which is not active right now, is what I use for my wireless mic, my Rode Wireless Pro, which I only really use if I have the treadmill out from my desk, because I don't want to be walking and running into this thing. So my second input is this microphone. So we'll take a look at my effects. I do have the high pass filter, the de-esser, noise gate, compressor, and that's my EQ. So I know what you're going to ask about. Actually, let me pull it up right here and control it on the interface. You're probably wondering, does a certain streamer just take that low gain and turn it up even more? Now we're at 5.3 decibels. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, everyone. Play my video game. Play it. Play it. So this maxes out at 12 decibels. And I like to keep it down here about 0.7. I actually try to boost up the highs a little more because I know people can get fatigued from hearing deep voices. So this is what I use. Then you're probably thinking, nah, bro, you're taking OBS. You have a voice changer in OBS. So this is OBS. And the only thing I have right now is the audio monitor, which has no effects on it. I'm actually not using it at the moment. So something I will do, though, is I will use a service from Adobe called Enhance Speech. This is an AI speech enhancement tool. It comes in pretty handy. It helps clean up a lot of the background noise. However, it can do a little too much by default. Now, by default, it does like 90% speech and 10% background. And so what I do is I will export the audio track, let it process, and then I bring back the audio track and I layer it in. Now you can adjust in the application the sliders up and down. However, I just go with the kind of the over processed, and then I prefer to do the mix in DaVinci Resolve. Kind of like with computer graphics, early on when people were complaining computer graphics were too clean, too perfect. I feel it's the same thing with the speech enhancement. It's too clean, too perfect. Actually, not perfect. It's kind of muddy. It takes out too much. I think the imperfections help out. Now, this is the enhanced speech. This is what it sounds like straight out of Adobe. Definitely cleaned up in some places. However, it doesn't really feel very natural. It feels a little bit muddy. And now this is with me layering the two tracks together. Now, what I might do is bump up the high end on the EQ a little bit on the enhanced speech. And because I bring the original track down some, I will sometimes compensate by bringing up the low end frequencies just a little bit, just to bring them back out. Because I don't really like the low ends on the enhanced speech. I think I do like the background cleanup, and I do like it cleans up that middle frequency, and I will usually take the middle frequencies, actually kind of middle to high frequency range, and bring that down. That's usually where I get like the most reverberation in my office space. And I guess that's how I do speech changers for my videos. But anyways, I just wanted to share a little background how I work and how I do my audio. That's all I have for this video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.